They are walking out with their families for this special Christmas football match. And they'll be looking to do their families and their fans proud. Sydney FC. It hasn't been a happy hunting ground at Allianz Stadium since they moved here, back to the newly rebuilt Allianz Stadium at the start of last season. Can they shake off the Allianz curse this afternoon? Well, there's just the one change for Ufuk Talay's starting 11. Andrew Redmayne returning from suspension as Adam Pavlicic heads to the bench. That's after that 3-0 loss away to Melbourne victory last time out. In defence, Jack Rodwell makes it back-to-back starts, which means Jacob Girdwood-Wright continues in midfield alongside Caceres and Bratton. Well, up front, Fabio, Joe Lolly and Robbie Mack will be looking for the goals. Of note, Max Burgess, the former Western United man, is back on the bench for the first time since week 2. Well, John Aloisi may be suspended and sitting up in the stands. Otherwise, there's no changes for Western United after that 2-1 win over Brisbane. Gentlemen, as you were, Josh Risdon is at the back after that match-winning goal. Seb Pasquale makes it back-to-back starts in the middle of the park. Daniel Pena continues in that new central attacking midfield role that saw him get his first goal in green and black. While up front, Noah Botic, Riku Danzaki and Lockie Wales will be looking to bring the goal threat. Well, there is Ufuk Talay, the new man in the hot seat. Well, I guess we could say he's been there just about long enough to start seeing the effects of his methods and his philosophy. It's been all or nothing for the moment. Hayden Fox is in the hot seat down on the sidelines, the long-time assistant coach to John Aloisi, who is up there just alongside from us, about 3 booths down from our commentary position here at Allianz. The former Socceroo legend will have a bird's-eye view of proceedings this evening. Our referee is Jonathan Barrero. It's the first time he takes charge of this fixture. His 81st A-League match, assisted by Ryan Gallagher. Lance Greenshield's Tim Danaskos is the 4th official. Well, we'll see what all this means in the league ladder, because Wellington Phoenix have scored 2 late goals at home to Western Sydney, both coming after the 90 minutes. That sends them 4 points clear at the top, ahead of the Melbourne Derby later today. And at the other end of the table, Sydney and Western United down in 10th and 11th. A loss coupled with a win for Perth in the final match of this round would see the loser of this fixture rock bottom a third of the way through this 2023-24 campaign. And it is Western United looking for back-to-back wins for the first time this season that get us underway against a Sydney side who haven't enjoyed the best of home form. Just 1 win and 3 defeats at Allianz Stadium so far this season. But John Aloisi is wary of the wounded bear, Andy Harper, saying that Sydney have been playing well enough to get better results. It's a little bit like the same story they've been saying about themselves.
Yeah, g'day Robbie. Happy Christmas in advance to you and all our listeners on Paramount Plus. Compliments of the season, and let's hope we're complimented by our viewing, or with our viewing tonight, of what's going to be a fabulous game. And I think with so much at stake, it could well be that. There's a terrific crowd brewing here. The Cove is in fantastic voice. There's a real atmosphere, Christmas or not, around the stadium, and both teams need the win. Sydney had been playing well, but not been able to break the ice. A lot of that discussion then falls at the feet of Fabio. Can he break his drought and start leading the line with goals for Sydney?
Well, one of the main focuses has to be goals between these two sides. It's one of those ones where you look and think there's so much attacking talent out on the football pitch. Sydney have proved it at moments this season as well, so have Western United to a lesser extent, but Sydney's 2 wins have come 5-1 and 3-2. 8 goals in their 2 wins. The problem has been, when their heads drop, they have not scored a single goal in their 6 other matches for 6 defeats Well, Western United, they have bookended their season so far. An opening day win with a last-minute penalty from Noah Botic against the premiers, Melbourne City. That was followed by 6 defeats of their own before last weekend's 2-1 win, and again it was a last-minute win. Josh Risdon getting the crucial goal. And certainly, Andy Harper, you asked Hayden Fox if this was a must-win. Coach doesn't like to use that sort of terminology. Not at this stage of the season, at any rate. It's not a cup final, which I guess is about the only time you could say it is an absolute must-win, but this is a must-win for these two sides, make no mistake.
After all that, look, I think it is, because, of course, you can get on a mini run and get into the 6 late in the season. We're not into the discussion about mathematical probabilities, etc. yet. But the fact of the matter is, you just, this early out on, you just don't want to be giving teams big leads on you. Just the pressure builds. It's really difficult to navigate through. They're rarely, in fact, my rather leaky memory, I concede, but I think only Adelaide have had a run of remarkable results a few years ago when they were near last, if not last, at Christmas, and then they just went on an incredible run to put them in championship contention. It might even have been their grand final year. That's what I concede. My memory might be a little rusty, but outside of them, we haven't seen a team go on a 10-11 game streak with 9 wins and 2 draws to get themselves out of trouble. History says you've got to be accumulating points along the way. You'll leave your run too late.
That's an early yellow card for Jake Girdwood-Reich inside the opening 3 minutes. That challenge under the nose of Pena, who was appealing to Jonathan Barrero. Well, certainly, we talk about losing becoming a habit. There's 2 in a row for Sydney FC since their 3-2 win over Perth, which came here, their first home win of the season. But they followed it up immediately with that loss to Macarthur. As they're doing the defending here, Fabio, the Brazilian, at the near post. Big frame, it's all the way to the back post, and it's an opening goal. Angus Thurgate with his first for Western United, and it's the visitors who have the first gift in this pre-Christmas match. Western United leading Sydney inside 5 minutes, and the Allianz hoodoo continues.
Really amazing on the Harvey Norman replay. The Sydney players have gone for the Christmas elves at the near post, and Santa's arrived at the back stick. They've taken their eyes off the prize completely. It's a really good free kick from Lachie Wales. Look at that group of Sydney defenders on the near post. Missed everything. And Thurgate bobs up to knock it in after 5 minutes. It's a great start for Western. And calamitous defending for Sydney.
Western United have a first half goal. They hadn't been able to say that in the previous 8 matches this season. They have taken the lead, opened the scoring for just the 2nd time this season. And also worrying for Sydney FC is that record that I was just mentioning. In every game in which they've conceded the opening goal, they have lost and not scored. That's turned behind by Trapp, but the flag is up for offside. It'll be a Western United ball. Talk about the ideal start and a nightmare for Ufuk Talay alongside David Strilic there. Now, Western United will also have a challenge of their own, because they are the side that have led the least in the A-League this season. Only opening the scoring once. The lead there lasted 2 minutes before Tolgay Arslan equalised. Then it was a last-minute winner, and again against Brisbane Last time out, it was O'Shea that opened the scoring. They only went ahead through that Josh Risdon winner in stoppage time, so they have to try and lead from the front. Risdon, Pasquale, now Ben Garuccio down this left-hand side. The early cross finds the head of Rodwell. Birdwood Reich, who picked up a booking and clattered into Ben Garuccio. He would have already been upended himself, according to the referee.
Well, as I said many times, Robbie, the only good thing about conceding a goal so early is you've got plenty of time to turn it around, which Sydney have to do quite simply. I mean, this run of form at the redeveloped Allianz Stadium since it was reopened at the start of last season is deplorable.
Just 6 wins in 17 matches, 8 defeats in that time at home. And here come Western United again. Lockie Wales on the charge. Pena taking over on the left boot. Well, he is a spectacular player, not afraid to try his luck from any angle or any distance.
And this will be the value, in my opinion, of him playing in a more involved position, more central in the number 10 attacking midfield role. It's really hard not to get involved, as opposed to getting isolated out on the wing. And that left foot, geez, we've seen it fizz with Daniel Pena as an A-League player. He let rip then.
Sydney FC's hopes and Andrew Redmayne's hopes of a first clean sheet this season lasted all of 4 and a bit minutes. Long towards Fabio, who got his head on it. He does win more than his fair share of aerial duels, as you would expect from the giant frame of the Brazilian number 9. As you mentioned in the pre-game show, Andy, he's not winning those headers in the box. At goal, Mack looking to release Ryan Grant. Down the right-hand side. 2 days ago, he celebrated his 15th anniversary at Sydney FC. Ryan Grant, 9 major trophies in that time. The iconic haircut may have gone. More appearances in sky blue than any other footballer. As Mack's ball in, again it's towards Fabio. It was Birdwood Reich at the near post that actually got his head on that one. Here's Luke Bratton. They're calling for it at the back post. Here it comes all the way across to Mack. His control wasn't perhaps as good as it could have been. Now Joe Lolly just trying to dink it over the top. Got Caceres, Mack and Lolly. A little triangle all outside the box. The ball to the back post was brilliant from Birdwood Reich. And nobody could get on the end of it.
Well, you talk about service. How do we get better service for Fabio? I just don't know if you can get better service than that, actually. Birdwood Reich, brilliant. Where's the big number? You see, he's a yard behind. At the start, he looks, that's a really instructive bit of footage. Because when the ball's gone to Birdwood Reich, he hadn't made the positional run, anticipating that not well enough, and was that half yard off for the tap-in. And that's what it takes. A couple of those, Sydney can turn the corner. But until they start getting that break in the ice, they're going to be vulnerable, and Western United have already stung them.
And they've won it back here with Robbie Mack. His shot blocked.
Well, Mack's option was, I guess, understandable. He's in shooting range, but gee, Fabio on that occasion had made a good run outside. The Slovakian international. Little outside of the foot shift of the ball, and Fabio would have been in on goal.
There's Fabio's touch, one-touch football as well. As Mack released Caceres. Becerra towering over Riku Danzaki. There's Gabriel Becerra. The only Sydney player to have played every single minute so far this season. Of course, Andrew Redmayne would have been, you would imagine, in that similar situation had it not been for that red card after 15 minutes of the match against MacArthur. looking with Caceres. You can see that front four of Western United as they look to put the pressure on Wales. Risdon looking to close down Lolly. Bit of a surprise there from Ufuk Talay to see Joe Lolly playing on the left-hand side. More familiar in that right wing role, cutting inside onto his left boot.
Yeah, well, that was, just speaking with a couple of the Sydney folk beforehand, that was an intentional tweak to see if they can adjust the service to Fabio. What I'm finding more interesting is how narrow Robbie Mack's starting position is. So Fabio's virtually got two playmakers next to him, Caceres on the one side and Mack there now, which leaves the flank open for Ryan Grant if he can get up and down. It's been his trademark throughout his 15 years of Sydney FC service.
There was that opportunity for Lolly to try and work on the first time cross with that left boot. It will change the angle. Bratton's switch is trademark as well towards Ryan Grant, but overhit on that occasion. And you can see Caceres up alongside Fabio. As defensively, Sydney look to try and squeeze Western United into areas they don't want to be, but that's a good, powerful run from Thurgate, looking to release Lockie Wales. Lacerda with the challenge, but Wales has it back again. The cross towards Bottage. It could have been Redmayne's. Grant headed behind, but the flag was up for offside.
Well, they got to rush it badly then, the Western United players. Thurgate did well. Jack Rodwell had cooked himself completely with the overcommitment. Thurgate away, looked to link up with Lockie Wales. Neither of them really took the pulse of the situation adequately, Robbie, and it was clear offside, and they could have nailed Sydney there with just a little bit more composure.
There is Lacerda. With Rodwell. Lacerda again. Thinking it up, but all white shirts everywhere. Luke Bratton does very nicely. Under pressure, manages to hold on to the ball. Grant was looking for Fabio. Picked off by Seb Pasquale. Bratton just down on his haunches for a moment. Have a look there, it's just a little arm raised by Thurgate into the face. Foul by Girdwood Reich. To impose himself physically. He's a barrel-chested young man. Now Pena, more fleet of foot with Garuccio. Back for Pena. The early cross is a good one as well. Rodwell had to be alert. Bottage was there waiting. If the gift was to make it past the front post for a second time. Now Fabio with Lolly. Risdon siding him down, and it's going to be a second yellow card. Now that is Josh Risdon's 5th of the season, which means after just 8 games and 15 minutes, suspension time coming for Josh Risdon, his 5th yellow card of the season. So we'll get a little extended Christmas break, perhaps. Suspect not. Rodwell played well in his first match back against Melbourne Victory last weekend. Imposing himself physically, played just 69 minutes in all.
Well, Luke Bratton asking the question of referee Barrero. Josh Risdon just picked up a yellow, and then that 1-2 situation has left Joe Lolly on the seat of his pants. And Luke Bratton says, well, what do you reckon, ref?
A little set move there where they tried to take the free kick as quickly as possible. Sydney FC chasing the game already. And the pressure continues to come. Pasquale wins it back. Botic on the charge outside with Danzaki. His cross nodded behind by Lacerda. And they look inquisitively at each other, the Sydney FC players, but it was good pressing from Western United.
Yeah, really good aggression. Ryan Grant with too heavy a touch. Case for offside there as well. I don't know, as that was shaping up, Robbie, I was urging Noah Botic to take one more touch and then thrash it toward goal. Back yourself as a young fella. Good prospect.
It's John Aloisi as this corner comes in. Redmayne. They've learnt their lesson from the first corner, which brought the goal from Lockie Wales' delivery. Risdon strong, and then Pena. His mishit effort could have fallen anywhere. And when the penalty was awarded on the opening day of the season, and Noah Botic looked to the bench and said, who's going to take it? And John Aloisi said, you are. You're the number 9. You're the one that wants to score goals.
And actually, from roughly, but close enough to almost exactly, and that patch of grass where I was like, hit it, was Johnny famously scored early days of the A-League to win the minor premiership for Sydney FC towards the cove, picked the ball up on halfway. I think we can all remember the goal. We've seen it replayed through plenty of highlights packages, and it was around about there that he hit it with that magnificent left foot of his. And geez, how good would it have been for Noah Botic to have revisited that moment, created his own little bit of history. Not to be.
Rucho does well. Danzaki could have done better. Bratton almost out-dummied him. Now it's one for Botic to chase. Lacerda's taken his eye off the ball, but it drifts out anyway. May have been very close to it. Another offside call. That's where they're also looking to exploit Sydney FC playing a high line. We've got plenty of pace in behind as well, with the likes of Botic, Wales, Danzaki, with Pena pulling the strings. Provided 11 assists in that season 2 years ago with Newcastle, did Daniel Pena. Bratton is fouled again.
I think on Pena, Robbie, that if circumstances allow that he can settle in one place, he can have a massive impact on the A-League over time.
Well played, Lolly. Caceres, Fabio turning, lays it back for Bratton, who hits it. Hewitt Bell back at Sydney FC, this time wearing the gloves of first choice at Western United, diving away to his right, not called upon.
That's well done from Fabio. The pass to Bratton just maybe a little fractionally under hit, which made the whole thing a little bit rushed from Luke's viewpoint, steering the shot wide, but he dug the possession out well, Fabio. A bit of play from Sydney, just without the polish at the end to make sure the shot could threaten the former Sydney goalkeeper Thomas Hewitt Bell. Last time he was on this ground, by and large, he was playing for Sydney against Celtic and having a barnstorming game.
That one doesn't appear in my statistics though, Andy. That one. He did play 13 times for Sydney FC in the A-League. 2 clean sheets, but just 13 appearances between 2016 and 2023.
In the end, it was a very frustrating time for Tom, the A-League standard keeper, but just couldn't get, understandably, that's the way it is for goalkeepers sometimes. But he needed to change clubs so he could play the game he loves. It's been a tough start for him for all the reasons that we've discussed, but you can only admire the focus of the players to keep pushing, keep competing. I know it's their job, but unless you've been in one of those situations in professional sport where so much around the club is being questioned, players have just kept together magnificently well.
Joel King with Lacerda. Rodwell. Western United setting out their stall and saying, you can come, you can have it at the back. Now the press comes. And again, it's a little loose pass from Lacerda, which almost brought them unstuck again. Maruccio, not adjudged to have fouled Ryan Grant there, despite not really contesting the header either. Botic with the glancing header, and Pena playing Grant for the free kick there right in front of the referee.
Oh, they've sunk their jaws into this, their teeth into this, haven't they, Western? Sydney finding it hard to break free. And you reel off the names of the front part of the field, which at the start of the season I thought, wow, team that's got Danzaki, we've seen him good before at Brisbane, Wales, Pena, Thurgate, Botic, thinking, wow. Now there's a group you can work with. Rukovica. There's a group you can work with.
Well, just the 6 goals. Number 6 coming earlier today, as that's a great ball in, and it should have been 7. They should have had a second this afternoon. Fabulous delivery from Riku Danzaki. Botic failed to get a decisive touch, and Lockie Wales couldn't deal with the bouncing ball at the back post.
Well, no sooner do you go through the roll call of those names. It's a miss-hit pass in defence of Sydney. But it does go Pena to Danzaki, to the near post. Botic should have finished it. Wales should have finished it. And those sorts of misses explain why Western United are where they're at.
You may have seen the offside flag again against Botic, as that one was whipped in, but certainly statistically it doesn't make for great viewing. The history of the first 8 matches of this season. Here's Lolly. Joe Lolly still going against Imai. The ball in. Oh, brilliant stop. Hewitt Bell denying his former club. Fabio missed it, Mac didn't. But Hewitt Bell with a brilliant reflex save.
Well, wasn't it just? Joe Lolly sort of stumbled through in the end and fires a really difficult one. Just as well for Sydney that Fabio didn't get a touch. He'd found himself beyond the front post. Falls to Mac beautifully, but that's outstanding goalkeeping from Thomas Hewitt Bell.
He's made a couple of outstanding saves this season. Hewitt Bell, obviously, no clean sheets, and the worst defence in the land with 17 conceded means he hasn't performed miracles. But as you say, he's an A-League standard goalkeeper who's had to bide his time, and there again it was another good stop. Sydney, though, will feel they should be level. 25 minutes in. Again, Lolly's cross. Fabio just caught on his heels, well defended by Jacob Trapp. Corner for Sydney FC. Now, corners have been one of Western United's Achilles heels. They've conceded 6 times from corners, and it's Lacerda who, unchallenged, back it comes again towards Fabio. Girdwood right, Fabio on the turn, and the Brazilian, you can see as he wipes away the evil spirits. He's finally got his 2nd goal of the campaign. It's been a long time coming, but Sydney are level.
Well, it's the ghosts of games past that have come back to haunt Western United on Christmas Eve. Harvey Norman replay reports that it's another corner poorly dealt with defensively by Western United. And the ball bobbling around in the air falls to Fabio, who very gratefully sticks out that long right leg of his to get the boot on the end of the ball and inside the post, away from the sprawling Thomas Hewitt Bell.
Strikers can be a superstitious bunch. And there Fabio feels that things haven't been going his way. Perhaps that's a turning point for him. Just getting checked. All clear. So Sydney are level. And once again, Western United have still not led for very long. Controlling a football match is also part of a championship winning side. It was a side that Western United were 2 seasons ago. Let's not forget, with their record haul of 1-0 victories, where they would go ahead and hold on to that lead.
And, you know, I think back only a couple of weeks ago to, hand on heart, the Western United coaches say we had a poor game, really poor game against Central Coast. They're defensive of the performances outside of that Mariners game. But in that Mariners game, the corner defending was terrible. And even on that one, it did take a couple of efforts to get it back to Sydney, but the point is, when the corner first came in, Lacerda wins the header uncontested. It wasn't a great header back from him, not a lot he could do with it, but he fires it back towards the goal and then all hell breaks loose.
Girdwood Reich winning the next header as well. And that was an assist in the end for Jake Girdwood Reich. They've conceded 6 headed goals, Western United. And there in that passage, it may not be a headed goal to Fabio, but there were 2 headers, 3 in the lead up to it. All won by Sydney FC.
Well, the fans have got something, the home fans that is, Western United fans not here in great numbers, watching on through Paramount Plus, but it's a good crowd here. It's turned up on a Saturday afternoon, and they've got something. Now, can they go on with it?
Sydney FC defence, the entire back line all standing with arms raised, hoping for a free kick, and it was Botic attacking the ball, and they had to scurry in the end. Grant's header is a good one for Fabio. First time ball was looking for Robbie Mack. And now look at the space, because Grant's come forward. Danzaki again. Little cutback for Thurgate. Straight at Andrew Redmayne. He releases quickly. Up the other end, Lolly with Caceres. It's not often you see Anthony Caceres' control let him down. It wasn't an easy one, mind you. Tomoki Imai taking on Joel King, and he's done well to win a throw in there. Socceroos squad announced for Qatar 2023, the Asian Cup, where the Socceroos will be looking for their 2nd crowning of continental glory after 2015. Just 11 players from the World Cup a year ago. As that ball in towards Botic, Joel King was there with the Socceroos in Qatar at the World Cup, but not part of the plans moving forward. Graham Arnold announcing his squad. Andrew Redmayne is not there either. 4 A-League players. Bruno Fornaroli, the league's leading scorer, as is Bajic. Melbourne City left back. Those 2 will be going head-to-head in a couple of hours' time, which you can also catch on Network 10 and Paramount Plus. Melbourne derby. And then it's 2 goalkeepers. Lawrence Thomas, who conceded 2 late on against Wellington Phoenix just about half an hour ago.
Yeah, well, it's largely uncontroversial squad announcement, Robbie, but Joel King contesting there. As you say, it was in the World Cup squad in Qatar. Joel needs to take a look at the construction of this squad and think, right, what have I got to do? How have I lost my place? And how do I get back there? Geordie Boss, natural obvious selection, as is Bajic. Kai Rolls, reportedly sitting in at left fullback if needed. Gethin Jones. I mean, if you're Joel King, you're thinking, that's got to be my spot. The work's got to start here.
Well, when he returned last season, he was playing second fiddle to Diego Caballo, the Spanish left back as well, so he had to bide his time. The first step back after that period in Denmark is to, as you say, get the minutes under the belt. Here he is again keeping a close watch on Lockie Wales at the back post. Caruccio, some nice quick feet. He might. Risden, Thurgate. Also playing a nice little passing game. Pena, the touch for Thurgate, back for Pena. This is nicely worked from Weston. Hits it, deflected. It will be a corner, but Redmayne was scrambling away to his left.
Well, I think Sydney will take that, actually. As Pena was lining up, honestly, it could fire anywhere. He first caught our attention roughly from about this range at Geelong Stadium, playing for the Jets in the Cup playoff. And it was just a belting goal. And think, wow. And thankfully for Newcastle and Pena, he delivered that a lot through that season. The deflection, and Redmayne would have had all sorts of work to do to keep that out off the boot of Pena.
Daniel Pena again here. With the in-swinger with the left boot. Referee Guerrero says, just a moment while we settle out the pushing and pulling in the box. That's Pena just given away what he was going to try and do, which is whip the ball in towards that near post. Right arm raised again. And it comes going for goal by the looks of things in a typically flamboyant style. On both sides, Andy with so much at stake in this one. It hasn't been an unbridled performance, certainly not from the home side Sydney, but they haven't been in panic stations yet either. It's been calm, composed. They're clearly not full of confidence going forward, but they're not rickety and swaying at the back either.
No, and you look at the experience and the quality in the team, you'd be surprised if that was the case. But Western United have given a good account of themselves so far, apart from the defending on that corner. They've broken through these situations nicely. Redmayne for a second. Didn't he for a second? Did he get that feeling, Robbie? He's going to pick it up. And I'm sure it never crossed his mind, but that was red card territory from last start here.
Well, Pena looking to do a Diamante on Andrew Redmayne. There's a bit of history between these two. That was in Ballarat. That match was played where Alessandro Diamante scored late on in the last 10 minutes to catch out Andrew Redmayne, as you see it there. Picture in picture, it was Pena this time who's inherited that mercurial tag that Diamante wore so well. And living up to it, trying to catch out Redmayne from distance. It certainly wasn't an easy one to negotiate in the end. Botic. No way through. Thurgate coming to provide reinforcements. Over up and bouncing. Certainly be feeling a little more positive than they were after 5 minutes of this one. Santa Claus supports Sydney FC today, at least, anyway. Thurgate's cross. With the chance to break away. Zaki as well, very disciplined defensive work from the Japanese number 77. Lacerda long for Fabio, under pressure, claims he was pushed in the back. Zaki sets off again, Redmayne coming. Lacerda wasn't going to get there, so Redmayne taking matters into his own hands. Grant and Bratton did well for a little moment there, but they were under pressure, couldn't afford the mistake, and it was Grant that cracked. The match has been played in Sydney's final third more than Western United's final third so far. As Thurgate claims he was pushed in the back by Lacerda. Western United's goal scorer earns a very dangerous free kick on the edge of the area. Well, it's caught him on the leg, perhaps, has he?
Yeah, it's poor defending from Lacerda.
Now Lockie Wales with the free kick. Back post beyond everyone. He's looking for dip, coupled with power.
Well, it's unfortunate for Western because Jacob Trapp, I'm going to suggest, was the target of that free kick, had actually broken into some free space. Wales overhit the free kick, which is frustrating, I'm sure, for all concerned, including Johnny Aloisi. Otherwise, I'd say, go out on a limb and suggest he'd be the happier of the two coaches so far. They've had some real bite, just lacking that finishing touch at the moment. But they're not being dominated by Sydney like Sydney have done to teams in recent weeks, even without winning the matches. Certainly the victory game in the second half last week, the victory barely had to break stride. Maybe felt that Sydney would just run out of steam, run out of ideas, and the scoreboard and the match report would suggest they were right.
Sydney with 63% possession at the moment, but they're being outshot 7-6. 3 on target for each side. So a pretty even contest when we accept the two styles of play that the teams bring to the contest. Here's Lolly on his left foot, tries it. Oh, tries it and scores! And Sydney have come from behind after being stunned early. It's Fabio and Lolly that have them in the front as we edge towards the half-time break. Well, there's one Christmas gift delivered.
Well, it's another set piece that Western United just can't clear. And how quickly can they get out to Joe Lolly? Not quickly enough. It's an innocuous sort of situation. Harvey Norman replay, Robbie. Difficult to be terribly critical, but again, it's another set piece they can't defend. He hasn't got particular sting on the shot. Is Heward Bell, is his vision obscured from here? Tail of the tape is Sydney have conceded after 5 minutes, and now 5 minutes from half-time take the lead, 2-1. He's made one family very happy, Joe Lolly. They got their Christmas goal from the Englishman.
That's his 4th goal of the season. And he has been on the score sheet in those 2 Sydney wins. As Joe Lolly. He scored against Western United in Victoria last season. The game here at Allianz last year ended 3-3. Robbie Mack equalising in the 89th minute. Those Sydney fans making plenty of noise, driving the atmosphere at Allianz.
Well, I was going out on a limb because I would have thought Johnny Aloisi probably the happier of the two coaches now, but you can put that assessment in the bin. He'll be spewing that they've conceded the lead and the manner in which they've conceded it.
And they're back on the front foot here again, Sydney. Max ball finds Lolly on his right foot this time. He's hit. Going back to the goal. I think Hewitt-Bell, and he sees it again. I feel perhaps he should have done better. It didn't go right in the corner. It didn't go in off the post. It was a metre inside the post, unless he was really unsighted. So what looked like a happy return. That early goal and that miraculous save to deny Robbie Mack has turned a little bit sour for Tom Hewitt-Bell. Mind you, there's still plenty of time for this one to turn around again. As we see the XG, it's still in Western United's favour. Fabio working hard, chasing everything. And Jacob Trant has turned it over this time. Mack finding Lolly. One way then the other, fouled by Thurgate. And this is a dangerous free kick, right in the middle, about 25 metres out from goal.
Well, I think Joe Lolly needed that free kick in the end because he turned away from a very obvious pass out to Joel King. And Thurgate, I mean, it's not hanging Angus out to dry. It was one of those ones, but he can manage not to foul there. You think Pasquale's just going to clean that up. Joe Lolly out of trouble because Joel King was free as a bird on the left, and having ignored that option, he really needed some sort of dividend, which he's got with his free kick. It may just be he who takes it. Although I fancy Robbie Mack will enjoy a slice potentially of the action here.
Luke Bratton is also there. So three options. It will be Mack into the wall. It's not happening for Robbie Mack so far this season. He does have one very nicely taken goal against Perth to his name. Joe Lolly is the player that takes more shots than any other player in the A-League this season. He's back on the score sheet. Sydney, the side that take more shots at goal than any other side. And it's Lolly, well defended, robbing tenure of the ball. And backing off, Caceres now. Serra. Good pace on the pass for Caceres. Good Woodreich. Sydney with the ball. 3 minutes of stoppage time announced by the fourth official. Grant has it again. Here's Mack. He and Lolly have switched back to their more familiar wing roles. Oh, it's all the way through for Mack, whose shot was blocked. Now Caceres into the area, still going Caceres. Digs the ball back in for Fabio. Going for the spectacular. He wound up, but couldn't find the clean connection with the acrobatic effort.
Well, I was fortunate in the end for Robbie Mack. Good defending as it squeezed through to him. That chance well blocked by Timoki Yamai. Fabio going for the bicicletta. But he blew a spoke along the way.
Chance here though, Fabio. Trap hitting the ball in the air and just catching the Brazilian perhaps. And frustration for Western United. Things started so brightly for them. They were dominating the early exchanges. They were ahead on the scoreboard. They looked hungry, lively, but Sydney have just managed to take that sting out of them. Imai charging forward. Danzaki, his compatriot. Danzaki on the right, trying to bend it. Redmayne perhaps more for the cameras than anything else.
Maybe. But well worth a go. Danzaki has found some nice space, and he was supported by a really good run from Daniel Pena. Broke outside even down the left, and just using that half jump. I don't think that just was for the crowd, actually. It was a better effort than that on replay, Robbie. Don't you reckon? He did a terrific job, Riku.
Yeah, but it kept coming back. Maine could have been in a little bit of trouble. Fabio's head up. Caceres, there's space here for Lolly. Are Sydney going to end the first half on a high? Desperate bit of defending from Tratt. Sydney have really finished over the top of their visitors this afternoon at Allianz. Hayden Fox screaming at the side to step up. Well, there goes what has been an intriguing first half of football. Western United flying out of the blocks with Angus Thurgate's first goal for his new club inside the opening 5 minutes. But then Fabio steadied the ship for Sydney with an opportunist strike, and then Joe Lolly from distance with his 4th of the season means that Sydney have turned things around. Half-time at Allianz Stadium. Sydney FC 2, Western United 1.
So Sydney fights back after conceding an early goal at home. The Cove is celebrating as we head to the break, as the Sky Blues look to right a few wrongs here at Allianz Stadium. We'll break it all down for you. That's coming up next on the Halftime Show here on Paramount Plus. Christmas wishes delivered here at Allianz Stadium in the first half. Joe Lolly with a goal that sees Sydney FC 1 goal to the good at half-time, 2-1 up over Western United. And it is the Cove celebrating. They hope to still be celebrating after 90 minutes as they look to right a few wrongs here at Allianz Stadium. Welcome to the Hungry Jacks halftime show. It is awesome to have your company on what is a gorgeous Saturday arvo here in Sydney. I'm Neve Owens, and it is Joe Lolly, who's been a real highlight for Sydney FC throughout the year, who celebrated that second goal. And the first goal, Fabio Gomez, with just his second goal of the season for Sydney FC. He celebrated hard with the fans here, and they'll be hoping to see a lot more of that from him throughout the season here at Sydney. Let's go up for the Harvey Norman highlights now with Robbie Thompson and Andy Harper. And Robbie, it all started so wonderfully for the visitors.
It certainly did, Neve. This set-piece goal to the back post, and Angus Thurgate with his first goal for Western United. Andy Harper summed it up perfectly. Santa's helpers were all at the front post, Santa at the back.
Amazing decoy, and the doormen completely in sky blue were befuddled, and they were down by a goal. And here's the tale of the season so far defensively, just 2-3 opportunities to get rid of that ball, and good teams just find a way of clearing their line. Desperation, muscularity, determination, whatever it is, and it's just not enough of it from Western. In the end, Fabio gets a relieving right foot to it, and Sydney are back level, and it's another set piece which earns Sydney the lead. And you have to, I don't know, look, is it too hard to go out on Tommy Hewitt-Bell here? Just, he didn't seem to get his feet moving nearly well enough. Maybe he couldn't see. He's got a great shot on him, Joe Lolly, but this didn't seem to be one really for the highlights reel from him. There's no deflection. Riku Danzaki's done a good job to try and close him down. In the end, it's one of those mysterious ones, and Western's otherwise dangerous and good first half has come to nothing.
Well, there were 3 goals. There were also chances at either end as well. And in those opening exchanges, Andy, it looked as though Western United could have gone on with it. If they'd got that second goal, perhaps it would be a different story.
Yeah, look, they were alive and buzzing. They just couldn't find that final touch. And this is, at these points now, after those good periods, Robbie, and then you've seen your lead go, in defendable situations, the confidence can really start to eat away. It's a big half-time for Hayden Fox, who's deputising today for Johnny Aloisi, not allowed within cooee of the change rooms. And they had their chances, Western United. They've been saying that at half-time and at full-time of pretty much every game this season. But in the end, they've got to clear better. And happy for Tom Hewitt-Bell on his return home. Of course, the goal was conceded, but that was a great save off Robbie Mann.
Well, there is the Paramount Plus player index. Joe Lolly, courtesy of that goal, leading the way, 95.8. Thurgate and Fabio, the other goal scorers. Trant and Danzaki have certainly been at the heart of the action. Trant defensively, and Danzaki has been dangerous going forward for Western United. Neve, back to you.
Robbie Harps, thank you so much. There's so much action on Paramount Plus right throughout this Saturday as in the lead up to Christmas. We've got a Melbourne derby coming up for you from Amy Park very soon. Zappers and Archie are there. Gents, the build up to this one will be huge.
Yeah, Melbourne has certainly turned it on tonight, and it is a sellout here at Amy Park. It's going to be huge, Archie Thompson. The first time for a long time. Melbourne victory going to this derby as favourites.
Yeah, they do. Well, they're undefeated. One of the only teams left in the comp, I think, that's undefeated. 4 wins, 4 draws. City be looking to get their season started. Okay, they haven't lost in the last couple of weeks, got some good results. They're out of Asia now, which is great for them. They can really focus on the league, but it's going to be a cracking night.
Absolutely, and mixed fortunes for the 2 strikers involved tonight. Jamie McLaren missing out on the Asian Cup, but the beneficiary was Bruno Fornaroli, who's been the best striker in the league this season so far.
Well, it was a question that we were obviously throwing at Graham Arnold before the selection, and he couldn't ignore it. I mean, he's been sensational. He's on the flight to Asia. Unfortunately for Jamie McLaren, he's not there, but good thing for Melbourne City, he's here. So he's not going to be missing any games. He'll be wanting to impress and, or maybe say to Arnold, well, maybe you should have taken me and maybe scored a few goals tonight.
And we know derbies throw up something,
well, they
always
do.
Something interesting. What do you reckon will happen tonight?
Oh, well, yeah. Mate, you know the answer to that. It's going to be a victory win.
No surprises there,
No.
Archie. It should be a beauty tonight. The Melbourne Derby, a full house here at Amy Park.
Zappers, Archie, thank you so much. Cannot wait for that Melbourne Derby. Also looking forward to the second half here at Allianz Stadium. It is the Sky Blues who capitalised twice from the set piece in the first half. Can they continue that and clinch a much needed win at home? The second half action coming up next here on Paramount Plus.
Breathe in and out.
And he saved it with his head.
Welcome back to this clash between Sydney FC and Western United here at Allianz Stadium. Kick-off in the second half is just moments away, and the assistant coach of Sydney FC, David Drilic, has been good enough to join us. David, your side had to fight back from a goal down early in that half. What was the message from the boss at half-time?
Look, we didn't start well, and the irony about this game is we haven't played well, but we're up 2-1. In previous games we've played much better and haven't got the result. So we're not happy with that first half. We gave away a lot of balls. We weren't good on the ball. We were too slow. So we obviously want more intensity in the second half. We want to push them harder. It's our home game. And I just don't think we've been good enough in all those key moments. So we definitely want to see a better second half performance and hopefully continue on with a win.
You've got a big name in Max Burgess on the bench here behind us. What kind of minutes has he got in the legs?
We'll see how it goes. I mean, he's coming back. He hasn't played for a few weeks, so we'll see how the game goes. But obviously he's a quality player, and we got other quality on the bench to come on. And but hopefully the boys that are on the park now do the job, and when these guys from the bench come on, they can add and push us home. Thanks so much for joining us, David. Good luck in the second half. David Drillich joining us as we head back to our commentary team for the second half here at Allianz Stadium. Robbie Thompson and Andy Harper.
Thank you, Neve. Very interesting words there from David Drillich. For once, Sydney are in front. They're not even playing well. The irony of football, having been on the receiving end of so many difficult results when they've deserved better. It's been a similar sort of narrative out of Western United so many times this season as well. Western United were very quickly out of the blocks for the start of this second half. The team out there, and they're even doing a little improvised warm-up routine now to get everyone moving. The referees have just emerged about a minute and a half after Western United, and only now has Andrew Redmayne emerged from the tunnel. We saw Max Burgess there. The Sydney bench is there in readiness and in waiting. No Zayden Kucharski on the bench for Sydney today, victim of a little bout of food poisoning that's kept him out of the side. So Mitch Glasson, who was going to be the unlucky player to miss out, steps back on to the bench and may yet play a role in this one. No changes to either side during the half-time break then. The message for both sides is clear then. Sydney FC want to keep improving, want to get back, having perhaps, they feel, ridden their luck a little bit. Certainly didn't dominate this match for all the possession they've had. And Western United will be looking to get back that energy where they really took the game to Sydney in the opening minutes, going ahead 5 minutes in on this day in which the Christmas spirit has been around the edges of the park, and the occasional little gift on the park as well from defences for the goals we've had. Half-time break, Andy Harper. Sydney, having come from behind now, have to hold on, leading 2-1.
Yeah, and great to hear from David Drillich. I must say it's great to see Driller back in the local scene, so much to contribute. He's accumulated some great experience in recent years and spoke very candidly about a first half that I thought flattered to deceive as well. But they've got their noses in front, and it's all about the points at this point. Of course, you want your team to play well, but I'd hazard a guess that in their heart of hearts they'd take a bad performance but get the 3 points.
Well, they've turned it over here, and Pena is coming forward. He's got options ahead of him, Pena. And he was just caught in two minds, and in the end his pass was looking to release Botic, was picked off by Lacerda. And now Fabio runs onto this one. Fabio shoots near post, and Hewitt Bell just manages to tip it around.
Good chance. Not an easy assignment that for Fabio. It's found beautifully by Caceres. What a lovely pass from the Sydney midfielder. And then on form up against one of the most difficult defenders to shake in Tomoki Imai. I say on form because he hasn't been great this year, not by his high standards, Tomoki, but still he presented enough resistance there for Fabio.
Rolly's ball back post. The header is a brilliant one from Rodwell. And Western United's Achilles heel continues to trouble them. They cannot defend corners. They have conceded another there. Rodwell's first goal of the season, and a great start to the second half for the home side. Sydney FC lead 3-1.
Well, it's a low trajectory corner on the Harvey Norman replay. and they just get in each other's way. I mean, Joshy Risdon is appealing for a foul. I don't know necessarily if there's one. It's a great header from Rodwell. Look at that. Sliced beautifully by Lolly. It's a really, really good header from Rodwell. And talk about ghosts of games past. It's becoming a horror show, this corner defending for Western United.
VAR are just having a look at Josh Risdon's complaints to make sure there was nothing untoward as that ball was floated to the back post.
Yeah, it was Angus Thurgate who came a cropper. They are looking to see that there was any undue influence on Thurgate's positioning, or if it was just a coming together. It seems the latter. Goal looks like it's going to stand. Yep.
Decision upheld. Sydney 3, Western United 1. And that high energy start that Western United would have been hoping for has had the carpet pulled out from underneath them just 2 minutes after the restart. Rodwell just underlying his importance to this side and returning to this side. It was an excellent header at the back post that really gave Hewitt-Bell no chance. See what they have in the tank. Now Mack running onto it. Robbie Mack still with Lolly. Caceres, he tries to find space for the shot, curls it, and it's another fine save from Hewitt-Bell. This time tipping it around the other post.
Really good work from Hewitt-Bell. The pass out to Joe Lolly was sort of summing up what David Drulich was saying. Mack made good ground, and then the pass wasn't that convincing. Look, Joe Lolly's got a bit of work to do, and things can come unstuck at that point. Caceres decides he's going to fix things and gets a good shot right on target.
Corner taken quickly, in it comes again. Fabio leaping, gets his head on it, and Hewitt-Bell again. Well, he's keeping it respectable in the first minutes of this second half.
I don't think it was the cleanest contact from Fabio, but it certainly provided a test. Another one in quick succession for Thomas Hewitt-Bell. Doesn't he do well? Excellent goalkeeping there.
You can see the little smile on Fabio's face. That's courtesy of that goal. Here's Grant at the back post. Ryan Grant, completely mishitting it. And what's a special week for him, celebrating his 15th year at Sydney FC. Daniel Pena wanted the free kick, didn't get it. Caceres closed down quickly. Pasquale and Thurgate between them. Managed to get the better. Not for long. Joel King. Good switch of play for Mack. Overlapping run. Grant won't get there. Well, he has done brilliantly, and it's cleared off the line. Tomoki Imai, know it had just gone out of play over the end line, but only just.
That was a good sequence for Sydney. Some really good fluency. The goals will bring that edge and confidence back. Determined effort from Ryan Grant. Nice offering from Robbie Mack as well.
Won it back again there, high up the pitch. Bratton throws himself into the challenge with Garuccio. From an afternoon that started so well for Western United, the thoughts of, or hopes of back-to-back wins for the first time this season seem nothing but the stuff of fairy tales as Christmas looms on the horizon.
But at 3-1 it does bring into some sort of focus your reporting of the last time they met here at 3-3. But it's been a good start to the second half from Sydney. They're very energetic, great pressure on the ball.
Joe Lolly has a goal and an assist in this one as well. And now, Lockie Wales and Daniel Pena are standing over this free kick. The second half has been one-way traffic so far. It will be Pena. In it comes, Redmayne, not taking any chances. That's the touch behind for a corner. And let's not forget that Western United, while they have been conceding goals from corners, their goal also came from a corner inside the opening 5 minutes here. What they would give for a repeat performance of that. Rocky Wales with the signal. Garucho comes short. The pass is not a good one. And it's an opportunity gone begging. And those opportunities always a little more painful when you're trailing already by 2 goals and there's a little bit of urgency. Redmayne. One in the air by Trant. Flag up for offside against Fabio. Skipping between challengers, no advantage as Rodwell flew into the Brazilian. Apologise, but it was Pena who came off second best. Yeah, just explaining. Sorry, Daniel, I had no other choice. Is caught. Western United skipper there, Josh Risdon. Pasquale. Wales up the line for Thurgate. Strength from Thurgate. Rodwell thought that should have been a throw for Sydney FC. It's gone Western United's way. Rocky Wales has done well. Risdon, little touch for Thurgate. This is nicer from Western United. The cutback though, intercepted by Rodwell, who found Lolly. Caceres under pressure. And Western United have it again. Pasquale with Pena in a dangerous part of the field. Inviting Garucho to shoot. Not the power to test Redmayne from that kind of distance.
You know, this has been a better contest than Western United's defending from set pieces has allowed it to be, in one sense. Sydney looking reasonably comfortable on the scoreboard and playing much better in this second half. But Western, outside of their inability to defend from a set piece, are very difficult to handle. And they're showing great grit and determination, but they just look very vulnerable.
Bratton inviting Grant forward. Risdon's defensive header. Bratton comes again. Finds Caceres. That bounced up onto the arm. Play on. With Lolly. His position wide on the left. Edward Reich again winning the header. And then a second time over Noel Botic. Working for Western United defensively at the moment. Tommy Humite bolting the ball into Josh Risdon. Sydney already enjoying the Lions' share of possession. Now, can they do more with it as they have done already at the start of this second half? Lolly's touch, another one for Fabio to chase. He is quick, Fabio. Loves to stride forward. Caceres. They're arriving now. Mack. Again, just taking a moment too long, hesitating to shoot, and then getting closed down. Joel King's done well. This time, Mack just hits it. And it flashes past the post. Perhaps Heward Bell had it covered. first change coming for Western United then. It's going to be Rhys Bozanovski coming on to replace Pasquale in the middle of the park. It's Bozanovski, who's got A-League experience, 16 appearances, just one this season. He comes straight on into that position, like for like, with Pasquale in the centre of midfield. Just 19 years of age. Another youngster cutting his teeth in the A-League. The catch cry is where stars are made. It's certainly where the Australian players are getting their opportunity to play professional football, as it should be. The A-League's promoting young talent. Mack, closed down by Bozanovski. He's done well for Lolly. The early cross. Here's Grant. The crowd would love him to get a goal today, but it's not going to come there.
Never settled for Grant, did it? But it was classy play from Robbie Mack. Used his body beautifully to make space for the pass, which for Joe Lolly was beautiful, and his cross was dangerous. Nice play from Sydney.
Lolly's brought that down brilliantly. Got the better of Bozanovski. Lolly still going. Joe Lolly. Well, it was a slaloming run in between players, but the final shot not of the same calibre as the lead-up play. Now Girdwood Reich with Lolly again. Little touchback. Noah Botic tracking back, but he's been dispossessed by Caceres, who races after the ball and keeps it in play. Mack turning again. This is nice play. Oh, almost came off. Girdwood Reich's return ball. Unable to find Robbie Mack, but Sydney are on top at the moment. Sydney are starting to grow in confidence. Sydney are making things happen. And Western United are on the ropes. Possession in the second half, as it has been throughout the match, in Sydney's favour, but Western United looking to break. That's a good ball from Pena for Wales, back across the face of goal, and Botic has missed what was essentially an open goal and a way back into the game for Western United.
Well, what a pass from Pena, firstly, to open the field up. Look at this from Pena. Lockie Wales does well. No, massive credit to Lissette. He doesn't get a touch, but it's enough, obviously, to put Botic off, who shouldn't have been put off. It's a bad miss from Western United, but when you're not going that great in front of goal, the defenders realise you just stay there or thereabouts. It can be enough to just take the focus, which can be surely the only explanation there from Noah Botic to tap it in and make it 3-2.
And it would have been game on again. Sydney's growing confidence may yet have been rocked by that little reminder that they can take nothing for granted. Not when you're down at second bottom and third from bottom in the table with just 2 wins this season. Wins are precious. Wins have been hard to come by. Pena goes without it. Bratton with Fabio. And then he goes without it, but Sydney just want it that little bit more at the moment. Joe Lolly wants it into feet. Joel King looks further afield. And Sydney have it again. Lolly, he's got 2 ahead of him. Fabio. Robbie Mack peeled right. Bozanovski winning it back. Now Botic bypasses Pena for Lockie Wales. Pena comes with the overlapping run. Here is Daniel Pena now. Can they find an option? Whoa, Wales just snatched at it inside the box, and that's 2 alerts for Sydney FC in a matter of minutes.
Well, can Western keep going? Or does the confidence just run away with every chance that comes and every chance that they miss? But the lead-up is really difficult to contain. There are players in motion. They're showing great speed to get forward. Sydney defensively running towards their own goal, which is never a comfortable position from which to defend. But 2 attacks, sweeping attacks as both were in recent times, and a tap-in virtually was all that was required on both, and Western come up short each time.
That is 2 really gilt-edged opportunities for Western United to be back in the game here. They have let Sydney FC off the hook. Perhaps this is just, as David Strilic told us at half-time with Neve Owens, just the type of match that Sydney FC need, just that little slice of luck that's eluded them so far this season when playing better to pick up the 3 points. Thurgate, that's a nice turn. Now he needs to find an option. Looks for the pace of Wales, but it's just too direct, the pass. Joe Lolly again does well. Fouled in the end by Daniel Pena. Helps him to his feet, Joe Lolly. He has been Sydney's most threatening player this season. Provided half a dozen assists in the cup run, all the way to the cup final. An excellent second half performance from him personally, as well as from Sydney FC that secured the Australia Cup. He's got 4 goals and 3 assists to his name this season as well. Joe Lolly, as Corey Holman is preparing to come into the game for Sydney FC. He was missing last weekend, match day squad. Now Sydney FC come again, Mack. Just couldn't find the angle to find Caceres. Girdwood Reich finds Lolly on the left foot. Just a touch and a shot. He's claiming he was fouled. Jack Rodwell made it through 69 minutes a week ago in his first appearance of the A-League season. He's made it through 66 today as he makes way for Corey Holman. That means Girdwood Reich heads back into the centre of defence alongside Gabriel Lacerda. Jack Rodwell, who got the all-important 3rd goal this afternoon, his first of the season. In fact, his first for Sydney FC. Jack Rodwell, after 13 appearances last year without a goal, his 3 previous A-League goals all came in his first season with Western Sydney Wanderers. First A-League goal, and he enjoys playing against Western United. He scored against them in the Cup as well in that 2-0 victory. Lolly has done well. Here's Fabio. Is there another opportunity here? It's a good pass. And Lolly, well, will they regret these missed chances themselves, Sydney, because there are chances at both ends.
Well, it's the regret derby at the moment. On that basis, they've had some great chances. Maybe Joe Lolly's still a bit ginger after the knock he took the last shot on goal. It's a great opening. I don't think his pass to Fabio here actually is definitive enough. You know, that needs to go well in front of Fabio so he touches and finishes. They still had to make something of it, and they succeeded in doing that. But Joe Lolly's finish in the end was a tepid one.
Well, if we talk about the two least potent attacks in the A-League this season, yet for sides that shoot a lot at goal, that has been reproduced again this afternoon. The shots to goal ratio for these two sides are 11th and 12th in the league. It's taking, for Western United at the moment, about 18 shots at goal just to get a goal. Well, they've had 11 for their one so far today, as Michael Roos comes on to replace Rico Danzaki, second change for Western United. As John Aloisi continues to watch from high up in the stands. Hayden Fox down on the sidelines pulling the strings. Caceres sometimes just looks a little bit casual. Caceres with Holman, overhit that pass, but good endeavour, good initiative from the youngster. Look at the closing down, pressing of Caceres. Bundled over fairly by Ryan Grant, and then Bozanovski wins it back off Robbie Mack. Roos will offer more presence up front and hard running as well. Perhaps more of an eye for goal, as here's Botic. Speaking of eyes for goal, that was a crisper shot, but he got away under pressure from Girdwood Wright.
Yeah, wasn't it? And if he just had that sort of conviction on the one that rolled across the goal 5 or 10 minutes ago now, but that's more like it from Noel Botic. And again, it's Pena. I mean, he dominated the league when he was a Jet with those sorts of moments, a leading assist maker in the competition, and we've seen great evidence of it again this afternoon.
Fabio with the lead, now Robbie Mack. Caceres took that ball from Danzaki right in the midrib, perhaps winded himself, as that's nicely done again from Pena. Thurgate with Bozanovski. Western United trying to get numbers forward down this left-hand side. Roos, Garuccio ahead of him. Cross intercepted by Girdwood Wright. Garuccio with another chance. And Grant this time stepping up with the help of Robbie Mack. Back doing the defensive duties. That's a clever header from Fabio. Ball not released, and Grant just apologising as Fabio was on one of those galloping runs forward. Girdwood Reich under pressure from Roos. There's a big physical presence. Michael Roos after a couple of seasons at MacArthur. There's Girdwood Reich again. Holman. That's given away by Lacerda. Again, but Risdon couldn't take it with him. Double change coming. One that will warm the hearts of Sydney FC fans with a little Christmas cheer, a little more Christmas cheer if they can take it. Max Burgess. He's going to make his first appearance since the opening 2 games of the season. He replaces Anthony Caceres, very highly rated under-17 Australia international Nathan Amanatides comes on as well, having made his A-League debut just a week ago. That 3-0 loss to Melbourne Victory. Get his first taste of victory this afternoon. There's Pena again, releasing Ruse. He looks and crosses, and then he finds the chest of Ryan Grant.
Well, it's a good outcome for Western, because that cross from Michael Ruse, or attempted pass into the box, was going nowhere of danger. So corner's not a bad outcome when you consider that, but again it was Daniel Pena who creates the opportunity for Western to attack.
And it comes from Wales. Good defensive header from Fabio, driven back in, cleared by Bratton. Amanatides with the touch for Lolly. Bozanovski fighting hard, and so is Amanatides. Does well. Bozanovski again with Thurgate. Fouled by Corey Holman. Free kick taken quickly. Here's the danger man, Pena again. Full of gestures, pointing, telling teammates to calm down. The cross in, it's not a bad one for Botic. Good idea to try and take it on the chest, but it just got away from him.
Yeah, it came at him just a little quicker than he would have liked. There's good promise again, and Pena just can find these spaces. On that occasion, pass had just a fraction too much on it. Tough one for Noel Botic to control, but he was in a good position.
Difficult year, of course. His young wife suffering with cancer. Daniel Pena, along with serious injury during his time in Korea. He jumped at the opportunity to return to Australia, and he was on the charge again there. Here's Joe Lolly with Burgess. His cross into the danger area. Very well defended, Jacob Tradd.
Yeah, it sure was. A goal there for Sydney, and you're prepared to call stumps. 3-1, and the way they're playing, they're still in it going forward, but can they defend their goal sufficiently? And Jacob Tradd says we sure can. Nice work from the former Sydney player.
Two spells at Sydney FC. Firstly as a youngster coming through the ranks. 9 appearances in total. Jacob Tradd, as here's Burgess on that left foot. Let fly, it looked good off the boot as well till it hit the head of Tamaki Imai. Now Amanatides with a good ball in as well. And again, it's Imai with an important glancing touch that time. Sydney looking to take this one definitively away from Western United's challenge. Birdwood Reich, Amanatides again with another assured touch from the youngster. Just 17 years of age. As he goes again here. Well, he's done well. Early cross this time. He probably had a little bit more time than he thought.
Yeah, to rebalance after breaking through into space. I agree with you, Robbie. It's been a key ingredient. So craved by every footballer. Speed. Incredible speed.
Look at the expected goals there. That tells the story when you think that they've had just over half as many shots as Sydney FC, and the XG is nearly a full point better. It tells you the quality of the chances that have gone begging for Western United, and you think of those 2 in 3 minutes to Botic and Wales in the area, but they're There've been a few. Hasn't been an easy afternoon for Andrew Redmayne in the Sydney defence. Here goes Burgess. He's done well to get the better of Trapp. It's come off. Burgess' last goal kick, despite the protestations from the player and the terrace. Referee allows play to continue, but not for long. Which free kick do you want? Brings it back to the first one. Jonathan Barrero. Joe Lolly standing over the free kick. Just there for appearances, really. And it comes from Lolly. And shape on it to the back post. Cleared. Jack Edward Wright getting it first time. Couldn't control. He's still looking for his first A-League goal. It's a good ball from Thurgate for Wales. He does have pace, but so does Gary Lacerda there showing a good turn of speed to get to that one first.
Yeah, I think it's been his best game so far for Sydney today. He's been really dominant in the air. He's a tall defender, but I've not watched a Sydney game and felt he was particularly dominant in the air, but tonight he's been crunching those headers on halfway. And his speed across the ground's never been in question. He's done a good job tonight for Sydney.
Goes Sydney FC's way again. That's the second time Daniel Peña's had a go at the referee's assistant on this near side. Substitution for Western United, and it's going to be Matthew Grimaldi. He comes into the game, his 6th appearance off the bench this season. His first in the top flight. Fantastic NPL season with Western United last year. Risden. Oh, he's gone without it though. No free kick. Fabio. Oh, and his pass just behind Amanatides. And it's been brought back. Fabio fouled after he released the ball by Jacob Trapp. And this free kick is in a very nice area of the field. Joe Lolly has the ball in his hands, the left boot. There are a few once again standing around, but Luke Bratton may just be another extra to the main star of the show here in Joe Lolly. Lolly steps up, just curls it over the crossbar. Andy Harper with 9 minutes left. It's been a afternoon for Sydney FC in which they've had a few of their Christmas list ticked off. What about yourself? What have you got on the agenda for the next couple of days? What do you want from Father Christmas?
Well, more great football, but that's given what we've seen this season, that's almost guaranteed, A-League football. But have been watching, Robbie, very quickly the developments potentially in Newcastle. The Newcastle Herald giving great coverage to football as always, and right over this story about the potential of ownership movement at the Newcastle Jets, which will make the Jets fans very happy if it comes to fruition. I'm not sure how close it is to being sealed, but the amount of coverage and discussion that's being generated, well, let's hope where there's smoke, there's fire. So we wish everyone well in that, but generally, Robbie, compliments of the season, and let's bring on more great football. It's been another fun game to watch here today, and it could go either way still. If Western get some reward for their attacking play, we'll make a helter-skelter closer to this game.
Good run From Grimaldi, the cross in towards Botic. That's been a solid introduction from the youngster. Well, we probably would have liked a little bit more fire before the smoke in Perth a few weeks ago, when we thought that ownership situation had been settled. And not the case. Rory in the situation there continues to rumble on. Throw taken quickly. Risdon, the cutback, the opportunity, shoots, goal! It's given Grimaldi just moments on the field with his first ever A-League goal. One of the stars of Western United NPL, where he got plenty of goals and assists. Well, now he's got his name on the scoreboard in the top flight.
Yeah, well, this is perhaps the break they needed. They've knocked away and come up with nothing, and on the Harvey Norman replay, it's the young sub, Matt Grimaldi, who manages to hold his head and fire home to breathe life into Western United's Christmas. Now does Sydney get the wobbles? Hang on, this is going to be pretty interesting. Final 10 minutes, give or take.
Futale not happy as he exchanges, shall we say, with Tim Danascus, the fourth official. Well, Western United, they will regret even more those chances that they had midway through the second half after weathering that Sydney storm. Now Lolly looking to restore the two-goal cushion. Amanatides, is it his moment? Deals for handball. Jacob Tratt with the arms clasped behind his back.
Yeah, well, having edged closer Western United and having threatened to have done it for a lot of the game, every time Sydney go forward, you just get a feel there's going to be a dividend for them too.
Delivered in, great delivery towards the head of Fabio. Corner, it is. Amanatides with the delivery on that last corner. He gets the thumbs up from Fabio. It's Joe Lolly. This one with the left boot. To the back post again. Hewitt Bell just flapping at it, got a little touch. It's going to be another corner, a third in quick succession.
If nothing else, Western United are getting some as-live match practice defending corners, which thankfully for them they've managed to do in the last two. Can they hold out? History suggests they're going to struggle keeping this one away.
Expensive training session today with 2 goals from corners again. Fabio winning it in the air, it's still not cleared. Lolly curling it, and almost bringing it all the way back. Now is their time. Last year in this fixture, it was Sydney FC that equalised late from 3-1 down. And goals from Caballo and Mack that salvaged a share of the spoils. Is it going to be the boot on the other foot? There's the player index. Grimaldi already making his presence felt with what could be a crucial goal. Since coming on, the youngster, he's been turning a few heads, just 19 years of age, all the way through to Redmayne. 5 goals and 9 assists in NPL2 in Victoria last season for Grimaldi. Thurgate. Ratchet did well, but Losanovsky's won it back, fighting, gets the free kick. Ruse is up alongside Botic now, with Grimaldi on the left, Pena on the right, with what is essentially a four-man attack. Houston taking a moment too long. Holman's header, though, only finds Pena. Dealt with again by Lacerda. Corey Holman does well. Joel King. A little slip by Trad, and then Fabio, exactly the same blade of grass. It's a nice turn. Grimaldi again gets another chance. Here's Garuccio. Charging forward, Botic. Back for Garuccio. Is there a grandstand finish? Oh, Michael Ruse. The flag has gone up, though. I think it was earlier in the move. Michael Ruse, who hails from Western Sydney, thought he'd got one over the old enemy there in his new colours. Not to be.
Well, it might have been Ben Garuccio who'd strayed offside, as Noah Botic did some nice work, good control. Yeah, it was Botic, in fact. I think that's clearly offside. Nice back heel from him. Ruse clearly onside. That's why Michael blew up, but damage was done earlier.
But it might just be another little dent in the confidence of Sydney FC with 60 seconds left in regulation time. Tale's heading back to the bench for his two final substitutions. It's going to be a double change in attack by the looks of things for Sydney FC. Lassen and Wood preparing to come on. Grant with Lolly. Pena picks the pocket of Joe Lolly. Risdon, Bozanovski, a little bit lucky. Pena keeps it alive with Thurgate. It's a little bit ragged, but they're still moving forward. Grimaldi. Now the cross out of nothing. Nobody was ready for it. Bozanovski sliding in. Western United have to be careful not to get caught on the counter. That's an important challenge from Imai. The break was on. Down the left for Lolly. Now Pena for Ruse. Into the area.
Well, rousing finish this for Western, a nervous finish for Sydney.
We head into the second minute of stoppage time. 4 announced by the fourth official. Sydney still waiting to make that change. Fabio Gomez has done well. Grant with Bratton. Big switch of play, 2 unmarked at the back post. Lolly is one of them. Lolly shoots and Lolly scores! And that settles any nerves. Joe Lolly delivers again for Sydney FC. The experience and the quality showing. Bratton's superb crossfield ball. And just when it looked as though Western United could claw something back from this one, it's Sydney FC who will be pocketing a precious 3 points today.
Well, the Harvey Norman replay is a pretty celebratory one for Sydney FC. And the man of the moment, Joe Lolly, makes it a sweet, sweet Christmas. It's a beautiful crossfield ball from Luke Bratton, but it's a stunning finish from their most dangerous attacking weapon. And as Western United looked increasingly likely that they were going to shock Sydney. There was always a thought that they were vulnerable at the back, and Lolly has broken their Christmas hearts with a fabulous finish.
So does that make him Father Christmas or the Grinch that stole Christmas? Depends on which camp you're in, I guess, because he has played a major role in, as you say, a disappointing afternoon for Western United. There's just 1 minute left. There may be another minute added on for that goal. Glasson gets his second touch, bundled off it by Josh Risdon. Now Sydney FC can really try and just control these last minutes. It hasn't always been pretty. It's been pretty spectacular, though, from both sides, with the number of chances that they've had. On another day, we could have had even more than the 6 goals we've had. But it's another bumper harvest in the A-League competition, that's for sure. The goals keep flowing. Joe Lolly with another player of the match performance from him. An assist for Jack Rodwell, sandwiched in between 2 long-range efforts for himself. Now Grimaldi, even in a losing cause, it will be a day he won't forget in a hurry with his first goal. And perhaps there will yet be more. Manatidis has just clipped the heels of Garuccio there before he clattered into Ryan Grant. Yellow card for Manatidis.
Not a Christmas one. Jonathan Barrero, barrister by day, of his policeman by night, in a football sense. And he's kept the game flowing nicely tonight, referee Barrero. Just couldn't resist a Christmas card.
Pena, it's too easy. Disappointment for him, disappointment for Western United, but joy at long last at home for Sydney FC and their supporters. A second home win of the season, and deservedly so, after a slow start against a Western United side who jumped into an early lead. They looked as though they were here to rain on Sydney's parade. But Ufuk Tally's side showed character, showed spirit, came from behind for the first time this season, scoring 4 goals in the process. Joe Lolly was at the heart of everything with 2 goals and an assist. Jack Rodwell and Fabio with his second goal as well, before in the end a consolation for the youngster Grimaldi with his first ever A-League strike. It's a win that sees Sydney not climb up places but points, putting some breathing space between them and the bottom 2. They head up level on points with Newcastle in the ladder as it's finished here at Allianz Stadium and the Joe Lolly Show. Sydney FC 4, Western United 2. Well, Western United will look to moments where they let this one slip, as there we see the 3-2-1s for the Alex Tobin medal. Joe Lolly with his brace.